Hi there, it's me, Martin, and I'm running a little late, so this is going to be quick. But I wanted to just share with you a quick story from my background with a lesson. Uh, long time ago, when I was around 5 years old, we had a an apple tree in the front yard of the house where we lived, and I always wanted to climb that tree because, well, I was a 5-year-old boy, and that's what we wanted to do. But I could never actually get myself up into the tree because I couldn't reach the branch. I knew once I got up into the tree, then I could be all over that tree because the branches were real close to each other. I just couldn't jump and get to the lowest branch and get in. So, in my 5-year-old brilliance, I decided that, well, I was going to go ask my dad to give me a boost up into the tree. I mean, reasonable to a 5-year-old. So I go in. I'm pretty sure my dad was doing something that he really didn't want interrupted by a 5-year-old wanting a boost into an apple tree. So when I found him, I explained what I wanted, and I said, well, would you put me up in the tree? And he said, and I'll never forget this, and I don't think he even thought about it. It's just one of those things you tell a 5-year-old when you don't really want to do what they're asking you to do. And he just looked at me, and he said, look, if you can't get yourself up into that tree, you don't really have any business being up in that tree in the first place. He says, so I'm not going to put you up there because you'll just hurt yourself. Go do something else. And then he went back to what he was doing, and I stomped off unhappy. A little while later, I could actually jump up into the tree and get myself up there and climb all over the tree, and I was having a blast. But I've always remembered that lesson that if you can't get yourself there, then you probably don't have any business being there in the first place. And I see that as something important, especially when you're looking at running your own business. Um, Internet marketing, whatever it is, we see all the time. Teach me how to do this. Show me how to get there. Show me that. Um, I'm not getting the results I want, and I want you to show me how to do it. And the truth is, there's a lot of good information out there, and there's a lot of really good training. But the bottom line is, if you're not able to get yourself to a position that you want to be, then you're most likely not in a position to handle that once you get there. Or, in other words, if you can't get yourself there, then you shouldn't be there in the first place. Uh, you can't expect someone else to pick you up and put you in a place and then be able to deal with all the responsibilities and everything that happens when you're there. Um, I say this to anybody who's going through any kind of a training. Um, 98% of people marketing online don't make any money. And, well, there's a lot of reasons why, or a lot of theories on reasons why, but a lot of it is we just can't reach that first branch yet, and so we quit. Um, we go somewhere else and can't reach that first branch, and go somewhere else and can't reach that first branch, and we keep having our excuses and reasons why. That's a lousy program. So, somebody didn't. The training wasn't any good. Whatever. But the truth of the matter is, if there's anybody else there making money, and you can't, then the problem is not the program. You know, the problem is there's something wrong with what you're doing, and until you stop and learn the right way, you will never be ready, and you'll never be in a position to deserve or even to be able to handle whatever kind of success you might want. Ultimately, you have to get there yourself. Nobody else can do the push-ups for you. Anybody can show you and teach you and give you ideas and tips and tricks and things like that. But if you don't do the work yourself, you'll never succeed. And just to close out, I'm reminded of something that I saw a while back about lottery winners. And they say majority of lottery winners wind up broke. Uh, they wind up broke, and they wind up worse off than they were when they started, because not only are they broke, but they've got a bunch of debt that they can't pay now. And the really strange thing is, it seems that the bigger the winner, the bigger the number, the bigger the lottery they win, the worse off they end. And that just kind of ties into that lesson I learned when I was 5. You know, if you didn't get yourself there, then chances are you're not going to be able to deal with anything that comes up while you're there. If someone comes and gives you, $20 million, you think, that grief, you ought to be able to live the rest of your life on $20 million if you do it right. And a few years later, you're broke and in debt because you didn't get there yourself, and you didn't stop and take the time to learn the skills that you needed to be at that level. So what I'm saying today is, whatever you want, whatever your goal, whatever level you're shooting for, don't ask somebody else to get you there. Because, to be honest, anybody else who might artificially reach down and bring you to that level, they're really not doing you any favors. They might think they are, and you might think they are, but in the end, they're just putting you in a position that you're really not ready to handle. And, the higher the position, the greater the risk, the greater the chance of loss. And if you didn't get yourself there, then you won't know how to deal with it. So take a lesson from what I learned when I was 5. Do whatever it takes to get yourself there. Work on yourself. Teach yourself. That's what all of this self-improvement and mindset really is teaching your mind, teaching yourself to be at a level where you can actually then deal with whatever you want. Put yourself there, and then you'll get there. I did climb the tree. Had a lot of fun. Ate apples up in the tree when they were in season. But I shouldn't have been up there if I couldn't put myself there. So I think I've said enough. Going to try and keep this one short today. Got somewhere I got to go. Talk to y'all later.